Hi everyone, I'm Brianna Ramirez, a master's student in the Social and Cultural Analysis of Education program at California State University, Long Beach. For my fellowship submission, I will discuss the historical and political context that has led to the current educational and social inequities faced by undocumented youth in higher education. Undocumented students are pushed out of the educational pipeline before obtaining a high school diploma, with only a few graduating from high school and even less completing a bachelor's degree. An anti-immigrant context underlines the lives of undocumented students. The United States has historically viewed immigrants as outsiders and threats to the national security, economy, and identity of the country. The lives of undocumented students are shaped and restricted by nativist policy that has historically targeted immigrants of color. Supreme Court decisions, immigration reform, and individual bills at the federal level affect the immigrant community nationwide. I will briefly discuss some of these policies and legislation. In 1982, the Supreme Court decision in Plyler v. Doe granted access to K-12 schooling for all students, regardless of legal status. The Plyler decision determined that all children must have a right to free primary and secondary education. This decision has yet to be expanded to grant undocumented students a right to higher education. The Illegal Immigration Reform and Responsibility Act of 1996 was passed with aims to restrict the undocumented community's access to public benefits. For undocumented students, this legislation limits the possibility to qualify for in-state tuition based on state residency. In 2001, the Development Relief and Education Minor Act, also known as the DREAM Act, was first introduced to Congress. Since then, variations of the original DREAM Act have been proposed as separate bills or parts of comprehensive immigration reform, all failing to receive enough support. This federal legislation would have provided undocumented youth throughout the country with a path towards citizenship through military service or college attendance. In 2012, President Barack Obama announced the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, also known as DACA. This program provides eligible youth with temporary legal presence, a work permit, and a social security number. The future of this program is undetermined, as DACA is an executive order, which leaves the new presidential administration to determine the existence of this program. With the failed passage of the DREAM Act at the federal level, several states have responded by passing legislation that supports undocumented students. Currently, there are at least 18 states that provide undocumented students with in-state tuition and/or access to some form of state, private, and/or institutional financial aid. Though some state laws have increased undocumented student enrollment at post-secondary institutions, students continue to face restrictions and control in higher education. Unfortunately, state support for undocumented students is not the norm in most parts of the country, where students are either banned from enrolling in college or are not provided with any form of support. Federal and state legislation promoting access for undocumented students is important and plays a critical role in the lives of undocumented youth. Under restrictive policies, undocumented students face tremendous legal, social, and economic barriers that prevent them from fulfilling their aspirations for higher education. It is more important than ever to understand the undocumented youth experience as the United States transitions to a political climate that is clearly and increasingly more racist nativist than we have seen in decades. Anti-immigrant policy and rhetoric not only challenge the educational aspirations of undocumented students, but also threatens the contribution, presence, and existence of the undocumented community in the United States. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.